I'm Morgan Daugherty, senior bowler at Rushi High School, and Fish Report Live starts now.
Coming to you live from Studio F in Rushi, Ohio, it's the Fish Report Live Show with your hosts, Craig Fissinger and Ken Francis.
Welcome to Fish Report Live.
Welcome, everyone, to another Fish Report Live. I don't know who that was, but that there's Ken Francis. I'm Craig Fissinger. TK and Heavy D are back in the sound room. And, Ken, what'd you think of that new theme song?
Hey, I like it, Craig. It sounds a little bit like TK on the drums and Heavy D on the guitar.
Well, I know our viewers out there used to like that Hawaii Five-0 music ever since we went to cable. Not exactly allowed to play that, but I thought it was kind of similar to that.
Very close to it. I liked it.
All right, well, listen, we got a lot to talk about tonight. We're going to be talking a little bowling, going to be talking some basketball, going to be talking some regular season, some tournament. What do we got for interviews tonight?
We got a full load tonight, Craig. We've got Rushi's senior bowler Morgan Daugherty on a interview there, Craig, as well as Marion Local head boys basketball coach Kurt Goettemoeller. And then we'll be going live to the Sydney sectional for an interview with a Big Dog to catch up on the latest girls basketball tournament.
All right, well, before we get to all that, just like we do every week, you got to ask me that weekly trivia question. Last week you asked me an Olympics question. Hopefully you're not going to ask me Olympics tonight.
Nope, no Olympics this time, Craig. We're back to girls basketball, Craig, and particularly the Fort Laramie Redskins. Read in the paper recently, Darian Rose is shooting a blistering 84% from the free throw line this season, Craig. But who holds the current Fort Laramie girls record for best free throw shooting percentage during a season?
Ooh, okay.
Is it Mallory Albers, Courtney Reed, or Aaron Turner?
Mallory Albers, Courtney Reed, or Aaron Turner. Three good players. I don't know about free throw shooters. I guess I'm going to...
All good free throw shooters, too.
Okay, well, I'm going to need a little help for this one. I'm going to send it out on Twitter. Hopefully I'll get a little help by the end of the show. All right, Ken, well, let's get things started. Like I said, we are going to talk a little bowling. And last week we talked some boys bowling. They have the district tournament coming up on this Thursday, and the girls will be bowling at the district as well. I want to say a little congrats out to the Versailles Lady Tigers. They actually won the West Ohio High School Bowling Conference. Just finished up here a couple weeks ago, and they actually bowled pretty well at the sectionals last week, didn't they?
Yes, they did, Craig. They finished third place in the sectional last week. Their team moved on. They'll be bowling in the district this week at Beaverview Lanes and Beaver Creek. The top four teams from there will then advance to the state tournament. The Lady Tigers this year were led by senior Megan Monin. She had a 188 average. And last week, Craig, in the sectionals, they were led by Brooke Werkamp, who led the Tigers with some really nice games there, Craig, of 218, 214, and 192. So good luck to the Lady Tigers bowling team of Versailles.
All right, and actually one of our hometown girls is actually bowling in that district tournament as well, and that is senior Morgan Daugherty. Got a chance to talk to her last night at McBo's Lanes in Versailles. And let's check out the video and see what she had to say. Fish Report Live here at McBo's Lanes in Versailles with Rushi senior bowler Morgan Daugherty. And Morgan, if we go back to last fall, you qualified for the district golf tournament. Then this past week, you qualified for the district bowling tournament. Sounds like a pretty good senior year to us. What are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, definitely. Districts was the goal for both sports, so I'm definitely happy, and I'll just do the best I can.
All right, now I know you're averaging like a 154 this season, but this past week at the sectionals, you actually rolled a 189, a 198, and a 163 for a total of 550. Why were you so hot last week?
Well, I've been working on my consistency a lot, and I've improved a lot over the year, and I liked the lanes there, and Keith was a big help, and just telling me where to stand, and when the lanes were getting dry, moving over, and he was a huge help, and just all the support with my team and everyone getting excited every time I got a strike, and it was just really encouraging.
All right, well, we caught you after practice tonight. What kind of things were you working on tonight, or what have you been working on this week leading up to the district tournament on Thursday?
I worked on a lot of corner pins, like the 7 and 10, because those kill me a lot because I get those a lot. On my strike shot, just working on consistency and making sure I hit the exact same spot every single time and just over and over again.
All right, now bowling seems to have really caught on here at Russia. What do you enjoy so much about the sport?
I love how social it is, and you can just go out bowling with your friends on the weekend. It's not just like a competitive thing like basketball. Like, you can do it for fun or you can do it for competitiveness.
All right, and in a few short months, you're actually going to be graduating from high school. What kind of plans you got for after graduation?
I will be attending the University of Cincinnati, and I'm going to study criminology.
All right, and that was Russia senior Morgan Daugherty. A couple other locals that will be bowling at the district as well. Ken, I wanted to mention was a couple Fort Laramie bowlers, junior Connor Holthouse and senior Ashley Ordine. Best of luck to both of them this Thursday.
Absolutely, as well as the Russia boys, Craig, who will be bowling also. So the boys team going over there to the district, so good luck to them as well.
All right, well, that's going to do it for our bowling talk. Ken, I want to talk a little basketball, girls hoops. I know both yourself and TK and Heavy D were watching some girls hoops tonight. We'll start out, though, talking about the Sydney D4 sectional. The upper bracket kind of got decided last night, didn't it?
Yes, it did. Fort Laramie had a big win, Craig. No surprise, they've advanced to the finals. They'll be taking on the Lehman Catholic Cavaliers, Craig. Kind of a surprise there, Craig, coming out of the top portion of that bracket. They had a win over Fairlawn. I seen Lehman play earlier this year, Craig, and just kind of surprising for me to see them out in that part of the bracket. But look for Fort Laramie to just cruise Saturday at noon in the finals of that sectional.
All right, and a couple notes on that. Darian Rose, I saw in the paper earlier this week that she had a free throw streak going 32 in a row. Actually went 1 for 1 last night, extended that streak to 33. Just saw in the paper tonight she was named also SCL Player of the Year, so congrats to her. And Fairlawn, they got beat by Lehman, but they're definitely going to be a team to watch down the road, aren't they?
Absolutely, Craig. They're a young team. Last year they only won 2 games. This year they won 8 games, Craig. They're led by freshman standout Audrey Francis. She went on to the free throw line an unbelievable 235 times this year, Craig. So they're a young team that definitely has got a bright future.
Yeah, I think that's 100 more attempts than I know Darian Rose. I believe she's been there about 135 times herself, so a pretty amazing stat there. And there were a couple games tonight in the Sydney lower, and for that we're going to be going to one of our old buddies, Big Dog. I believe we got him live on the phone right now. Big Dog, welcome to the show.
Good to be on, Craig. How are you tonight?
Good, doing well. I know you watched a couple games tonight, and the first game was that Russia Triad game. You got a score and some highlights from that for us?
Yeah, Russia won easily tonight. They won 71-44 over Triad. The Raiders shot an impressive 60% for the game, including 13 of 17 from the field in the second half for 77%.
Wow.
They were just on fire all night.
All right, and then the second game of the night was Houston-Jackson Center. I know that one just finished up. What do you got on that one?
Houston manages to hang on for a 47-43 win. The 2 meetings during league play this year, Houston won both those games by 4, and they complete the trifecta. They win this one by 4. Houston, an impressive 17 of 19 at the foul line, and that includes a miss when they already had the 4-point lead with just over a few seconds remaining.
Wow. Yeah, it's always when you can hit your free throws, it's always makes it easier, doesn't it?
Absolutely, hitting them down the stretch. Big Dog, this is Ken. Thoughts on Saturday's sectional final then between Houston and Russia? What are you looking for?
It should be a pretty good game. I mean, if Houston can continue shooting their foul shots like that, the 17 and 19, Nicole Meyer tonight had 16 points. Macy Stang had 9 points. They had good balance, but the way Russia was playing tonight and with their offense, and Russia's size is going to be hard for Houston to overcome. And I look for Russia to win, but obviously the third time around, it'll be a challenge.
Yeah, I seen those two teams get together late in the season this year, Big Dog, and Russia came out with a win, but Houston's going to play them tough, and like you said, anytime you hook up with a team 3 times in 1 year, anything can happen.
Definitely. That should be a very interesting game. Obviously, the first game probably won't be much of a contest, but hopefully the second one will give something to the fans, for the fans to cheer for.
Absolutely. Let's talk just a quick moment here, Big Dog, about the Division III finals at Tip City coming up. We've got Anna and Miami East squaring off, and also Versailles and Arcanum. Give us any knowledge you might have on either one of them two games.
Well, both of those games will be rematches of regular season games, which is kind of rare for that Division III sectional since all the teams are kind of spread out. Miami East beat Anna on January 13th by a score of 47-36 at Miami East. And then Versailles defeated Arcanum early in the year. They won at Arcanum by a score of 56-43 on December 7th. I can't imagine anything will be a little different. I know Anna's been playing a lot better, and that'll probably be the closer of the two games, but it's going to be hard to go against Versailles and Miami East on Thursday.
I agree with you there.
All right, Big Dog, that's some good stuff. Hey, I wanted to thank you for reporting from Press Row for us. I imagine you're still there right now, aren't you?
Yeah, like I said, we just got done probably about 15 minutes ago. It's me and about 5-10 fans here left and the trash people, so I think it's getting about time to head out.
All right, well, listen, thanks for hanging out for us, and thanks for joining us on the show tonight.
All right, no problem.
Thanks, Big Dog.
All right, that was old buddy Big Dog. Glad he could call in and give us a full report.
Yeah, kind of neat, Craig. I seen him sitting at Press Row earlier tonight, keeping score of the game, and he'll probably write the article for the Sydney Daily News tomorrow. So, and then talk to him on the phone tonight on Fish Report.
All right. Well, listen, we don't want to forget about our friends up north, up there in the Northwest. They play tournament basketball up there as well.
They do. They wish sometimes they were down here playing.
Yeah. Well, listen, we're gonna go back to the girls basketball experts back in the sound room, TK and Heavy D. Guys, give us a report on what's happening up there in that Coldwater sectional.
Yep, good sectional there in Coldwater. We've got New Knoxville got the bye in the first round. They're going to play Fort Recovery, who won over St. Henry. And looks to be I'm gonna give the nod here to New Knoxville. They took care of them in the regular season, 58-34. They've got 3-time MAC Player of the Year Haley Horseman leading the charge there for the Rangers. I'm going to give the nod to New Knoxville.
All right, and then what about you, TK? Any report from you on games up there?
Yeah, got a couple scores of games that have already been played tonight. We got Marion Local 51-37 over New Bremen, so took care of them with some ease there. And a little bit of an upset, I think. Columbus Grove in overtime 51-49 over Coldwater. So that, again, a little bit of a surprise there. Latest we have on Minster at Spencerville. Minster was easily ahead 36-16. Looking for an update there. That game should be just about over, and I would expect Minster held on for the win there.
Yeah, that'll be a big game there then. So Marion Local Minster will be facing off, and that'll be a good one.
That will be a battle.
All right, guys. Well, listen, hey, thanks for that, and I think that's going to wrap it up for our girls basketball talk. Ken, we're going to take a short break. When we come back, we're going to be talking some boys basketball, including that big interview with Marion Local coach Kurt Goettemoeller. Stay there. We'll be right back.
My baby finally gave up on me. I can't say that I'll blame her. She just got tired of playing losing games. I should suck on my pride and beg that girl to come back home. Deep down I know she's better off, 'cause fools like me are meant to die alone. Someone give me one good reason, one good reason to smile. I'm trying to be that guy my mother prayed that I would be.
Welcome back to the second half of Fish Report Live. Before the break, we were talking some girls basketball and some girls bowling. Now we're going to be talking a little boys basketball. And Ken, let's get right to the Shelby County League. That's all been decided, and look who's on top.
Yeah, Craig, it was just a fun year for Coach Bremergen and the Russia Raiders. They started the season out 1-2 in the league, rattled off 9 straight wins to finish at 10-2. Big win last Friday night against the Houston Wildcats, Craig, which was basically for the league championship. They finished 18-4 overall. Houston had a great year, Craig, finishing at 9-3. The Anna Rockets in third place and 8-4. So, when you look at those league standings, Craig, and you look at last year's finish, it's really interesting because the top 3 teams that were 1, 2, and 3 finished in 7th, 6th, and 5th last year. So what a difference a year can make, especially for the Russia Raiders and Coach Bremergen's team. And he's got a lot to be proud of there. Shelby County League champions, 7th time, I think, in his 28-year career, Craig. So that's pretty darn good, winning the league once every 4 years.
Yeah, and the tournament's coming up this Friday. We got some big games coming up on Friday night, including the Russia Raiders, the number 1 seed. Let's take a look at that.
Yeah, they'll be taking on the Ansonia Tigers, Craig, a team that they took care of very easy early in the season. And, I look for the same thing to happen Friday night at Pickles Garbary Gymnasium. The Bokkens Trojans, Craig, I'm sure they'll be there in attendance. They'll be watching that game very closely as they get the winner of that game on Tuesday night in the sectional semifinal game. The lower half of that bracket, Craig, is going to see the Jackson Center Tigers and the Fairlawn Jets. Craig, they'll be getting together for the 3rd time. Anytime you take 2 teams from the same league like that and they have to play each other 3 times, anything can happen. Look for that to be a real nice game. And then the nightcap Friday night has the Triad Cardinal taking on the Lehman Cavaliers, Craig. Both teams coming in right around the 500 mark. I, too, look for that game to be quite interesting.
Yeah, a lot of fun. It's my favorite time of the year, and looking forward to heading to Piqua and seeing some good games.
Yeah, Garbary Gymnasium, Craig, they put on a great show over there. Every year it's they call it Ohio's premier sectional basketball tournament, Craig, and I'm right there with them. I believe it.
All right, well, listen, let's jump ahead and talk a little MAC basketball. And they haven't quite decided the regular season there, but they got a big one coming up Friday night, don't they?
They sure do, Craig, and we're really looking forward to talking to Marion Local coach Kurt Goettemoeller here in just a few minutes. But Marion Local, Fort Recovery, they'll get together for the league championship. The Indians invade the hangar over there at Marion Local, and 2 teams 7-1, Craig, and you wouldn't want it any other way. It was interesting because the Shelby County League finished with their top 2 teams playing each other. The CCC finished the same way, and now the MAC is going to have the same finale there, and so good luck. We'll see what happens there.
Yeah, one of the teams that helped set that up, though, was last Friday. St. Henry actually beat Fort Recovery. Fort Recovery undefeated at the time. St. Henry Redskins playing pretty well here at the end of the season.
They're playing very well. I seen them earlier in the year. They played Russia. It was early. It was Russia's first game, actually. It was St. Henry's second game. And Coach Rosenbeck's team, he's got them 14-7, Craig, this year, 5-3 in the MAC. I think that's a very good year for the Redskins, and anything can happen in the postseason, so we'll see what they can do.
Well, listen, got a chance to watch our Raiders go over to Marion Local last week and play the Flyers. Russia gave them all they had, came up a little bit on the short end, but nonetheless a very good game and a very well-coached game, too, including Coach Bremergen and Coach Goettemoeller. Happy to have the head coach of the Flyers on the phone right now, Kurt Goettemoeller. Coach, welcome to Fish Report Live, and thanks for joining us.
Hey, Craig and Ken, thanks for having me on.
Well, listen, we just mentioned a couple weeks ago the SCL championship. It went to overtime to decide the SCL, the CCC. That championship got decided last Friday, also in overtime. What do you think? Is it going to take overtime to decide the MAC championship this Friday night?
Well, I'm not sure, but it's pretty cool that all 3 conferences have come down to the like a winner-take-all scenario at the end of the season. That's kind of neat in itself. It's probably as big a game as the hangar scene here in the last 10 years or so. So, it's going to be a fun atmosphere on Friday. It certainly could come down to overtime. I know Fort Recovery has a bunch of fighters over there, and I certainly expect the same from our guys Friday night.
Well, listen, last week with your game host in Russia, you were without your 6'10" center, Luke Kanapke. He was wearing a cast for what I believe was a broken finger. Can you give us an update? Will he be available for your game against Fort Recovery?
Right now his status is a little bit up in the air. He's got a doctor appointment later this week. We're somewhat unsure if that cast can come off, and even if it does, if he can still play. Obviously, we're worried about the risk of re-injury. we have to plan like he's not going to be there. We had a couple of seniors step up last week in his absence. Troy Holman and Jason Brunswick did a great job, stepped in and filled in. So, like I said, we're going to have to kind of plan that he's not going to be there on Friday, and then if we have him, that'll be a bonus.
Coach, hi, this is Ken Francis. And speaking of Luke, I know he's 6'10", but you guys are still tall without Luke. You've still got 6'6" Adam Berkey, who will be heading to Pittsburgh next year to play football. You got 6'7" Ryan Bruns, who's just a junior, and he's got a lot of athletic ability there. But you're not just got the big guys. You've got some guards that are playing well. Tell us a little bit about your guard play.
Yeah, Ken, we knew all along that a big key to our season was going to be, how our guards had progressed from last year. Last year Cole was a freshman and Doc Rethman was a sophomore, and it was just a learning process for them. And they've just gotten better and better throughout last year, and then of course this year handling pressure. Teams wanted to try to beat us with pressure, and we've just gotten better and better at that. They're really starting to see the floor in transition now, and we're starting to get easy baskets that we hadn't been getting earlier in the year. And then here recently, too, they've shot the ball pretty well. And, anytime you get that from your guard play, in addition to the size we have, that makes it somewhat tough to beat. And then Nate Nagel's been giving us some good minutes off the bench as well.
You've got Fort Recovery this Friday night, MAC championship on the line. They're obviously led by their star senior Elijah Kalig. He's averaging nearly 20 points a game. He'll be playing basketball at the next level. What is it about Elijah that makes him so dangerous?
Well, I just have tremendous respect for that kid. I know how hard he works. I know he's a great role model and leader for his team. He's going to Findlay for a reason. He's got a lot of ability. Besides obviously the fact that he can shoot the ball and score the ball in a lot of different ways, he's an excellent passer when he gets double teamed. So you really got to pick your spots. And he just has a tremendous will to win as well. And so, you combine all those things, and he's just a difficult opponent to prepare for.
This weekend wraps up your regular season, and then you don't get much of a break. You got tournament on Tuesday night already. How much of your practice time or your thoughts right now is dedicated to Friday night versus upcoming tournament?
Yeah, it's somewhat tough. We actually have a game Saturday afternoon against Shawnee. That's a makeup game as well, and I'm not sure what we're going to have left for that and trying to get ready for tournament. But, the players, they need to be 100% focused on Friday night. Obviously, with the championship on the line, their focus has got to be on Friday. Me as a head coach and us as some of the assistant coaches, we have to start kind of getting Minster on our mind a little bit. We're going to start prepping for them on Sunday, of course, and we have to be prepared before that. So certainly, we have to look ahead just a little bit. But if we would somehow be able to get by Minster, then of course we'd go right back and play Fort Recovery again. So, it's a situation where Friday is our main focus, and then we have a little bit of an eye ahead towards Minster.
Hey, listen, Coach, last question. Speaking of Minster, your first tournament game there, that's the same place you coached your JV ball at for, I believe, 11 years. It's also the same place you work at as a math teacher. Now, I know the Minster students over there have been known to play a prank or two on their teachers that coach at other schools. Any concern about that happening to you?
Well, I don't know what will happen, but I'm not going to spend my time worrying about that just too much. My bigger concern is probably, the threat that Minster poses. They were young in the season early in the year, but they've been getting better and better. And anytime you got good guard play, they got good guard play with Steck and Hoyne over there. And Matthew Trushaw, he's playing well. He's had a nice year. So, and of course, Coach Lee's been known to pull an upset or two at tourney time. So, I can assure you that that's probably going to be where my focus lies, and not too worried about the pranks.
All right, well, hopefully they take it easy on you over there. But listen, hey, good luck this Friday night against Fort Recovery, and Coach, thanks for joining us on the show tonight.
Hey, Craig and Ken, thanks for having me on. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Coach. Good luck to you Friday night.
Thank you.
All right, that was the head coach of the Marion Local Flyers, Kurt Goettemoeller, and a good guy, Ken. Got a great team, and like I said, we got a chance to see them just last weekend, and they're going to be a tough team in tournament, that's for sure.
Yes, they are, Craig. Like you said, they're very tall. They're one of the tallest, maybe the tallest Division IV team around, maybe in Ohio. But their guards they get good guard play as well, and makes them a tough team to match up with.
You buying what he said on Kanapke? You think he'll play Friday night or not?
He's playing. No, I don't know. I'll buy what he says, but big game, big time player. But he's got to do what's best for Luke. If there's a danger there of re-injuring him, no, I don't think he'll play.
Yeah, we kind of saw the same thing over there at Versailles with Kyle Orange. Somebody we thought might come back, and I'm sure it'd be nice to have him back, but you got to think about your future as well.
Absolutely. You don't want to do anything that's going to risk injury to a guy that's he's just a junior. He's got a big future ahead of him. So I guarantee you that Coach Goettemoeller will do what is best for Luke Kanapke, not what's best for his team.
Yeah. All right. Well, listen, that's about going to wrap it up for us tonight. Got one more thing to get to, and that is that trivia question you asked me at the beginning of the night. Give it to me again and my choices.
All right, Craig. Who currently holds the Fort Loramie record for best free throw shooting percentage in one season? Girls basketball.
And the choices
were Mallory Albers, Courtney Reed, or Aaron Turner.
Well, listen, I got an answer here on Twitter, and this girl helped me out last time. I believe I got the answer right, so I'm going to go with this girl again. This is the Girl Golf is her Twitter handle, and she's saying Courtney Reed. I know Courtney Reed was a heck of a player back in her day. I'm not sure what kind of free throw shooter she was, but I guess I'm going to go with Courtney Reed.
Well, Craig, back in 2006, Courtney Reed shot 75% from the free throw line, and she is the current record holder for the Fort Loramie Redskins. But Darian Rose right now is at 84%, Craig, and so I don't think Darian's going to drop that far. So, but congratulations, you got the answer right.
All right, listen, good stuff, and I believe we got one more thing from the sound room. Let's go back there real quick, guys. What do you got?
Just a little update. We thought that Minster would win, and indeed they did win. And just as important, their coach, Nan Steckschulte, got her 400th career victory in coaching. So quite a milestone for the coach, and Minster victorious tonight, girls basketball. So congratulations to Coach. I think we talked to her earlier this year, and
sure did.
Had a nice season so far, and probably will go on a little bit longer.
And you heard it here first on Fish Report Live.
That's right. All right, listen, that's going to do it for us tonight. Do want to say thanks to Morgan Daugherty for coming on the show, as well as Big Dog for hanging around for us, and Coach Goettemoeller, you just heard a few minutes ago. Ken and I and the crew, we're all going to be back again next week. Same time, same place. Until then, have a great rest of the week, and good night, everyone.